In the beginning, when the silence was deep, before the first heartbeat, before the first sleep, God moved on the waters, a shadow and flame, and whispered the universe into a name. Let there be light, and the radiance bloomed. The darkness was broken, the shadows consumed. The evening and morning, the very first day, the wheels of the cosmos were spinning away. He hammered the heavens to hold back the deep, a ceiling of azure where the silver clouds sweep. The second day finished, the firmament high, dividing the seas from the face of the sky. He gathered the waters to make the dry ground where mountains arose and the valleys were found, the grass and the herb and the fruit on the vine. The third day was painted in leafy design. He hung up the sun to be king of the noon, the soft silver glow of the wandering moon. The stars were like sequins on velvet of night, to govern the seasons with beacons of light. The fourth day was over, the fifth then began, with wings in the air and a watery plan. The great whales were leaping, the eagles took flight, filling the world with a wild delight. Then cattle and creature, the beast of the field, to the hand of the maker their loyalty yield. But something was missing, a crown for the earth, to give the whole story its meaning and worth. From dust of the ground, with the master's own touch, he fashioned a being he'd love over much. He breathed in his nostrils the spirit of life, before there was sorrow, before there was strife. In Eden's fair garden, where four rivers flow, where gold in the bdellium and onyx stones glow, Adam was king of the garden so green, the finest creation the world had yet seen. But God said it isn't quite right for the man to walk all alone in this beautiful plan. So out of the animals Adam gave names, but found not a partner to share in his aims. A deep sleep descended, a rib was removed, and out of his side a new beauty was proved. Bone of my bone, Adam joyfully cried, as Eve took her place as a help by his side. Two trees in the center stood tall in the light, the tree of the life and the tree of the sight. Of one you may eat and forever be free, but touch not the fruit of the knowledge-bound tree. The serpent was subtle, the serpent was cold, with a tongue made of silver and stories of gold. He slithered to Eve in the shade of the leaves, the father of lies and the prince of the thieves. Did God really say that you shouldn't partake? He knows that your soul is beginning to wake. Eat of this fruit and your eyes will be wide, with the power of God's and no reason to hide. She looked at the harvest, so heavy and sweet, a wisdom so easy, a logic complete. She took of the fruit and she felt the first sting, as winter descended on Eden's lost spring. She gave to her husband, who stood by her side. He ate of the darkness, he ate of the pride. The veil was then lifted, the glory was gone, in the shivering chill of a cynical dawn. They saw they were naked, they felt the first shame. The garden no longer felt quite like the same. They took of the fig leaves and sewed them a dress, to hide all the hollow and hide the distress. In the cool of the evening, the father came near, but the sound of his walking brought nothing but fear. They ducked in the thicket, they crouched in the mud, while the pulse of the panic beat fast in their blood. Adam, where are you? The great voice voice inquired. I hid, said the man, for I felt uninspired. I saw I was naked and fled from your face, as the first wall was built in that holy of place. Who told you your nakedness? Have you partaken? Is the trust that we built now completely forsaken? Adam blamed Eve for the fruit she had brought, and Eve blamed the serpent for lessons he taught. The serpent was cursed to the dust on his chest, an enemy now to the human-born guest. Between his dark seed and the woman's own son, a war was declared that had only begun. The woman would labor in sorrow and pain to bring forth the life like the falling of rain. And Adam would toil in the briar and thorn, from the sweat of his brow till the day he was worn. For dust you have been, and to dust you return, a lesson the ages were destined to learn. The harmony broken, the fellowship torn, as the first pair of humans stood weary and lorn. But mercy was found in a garment of skin, a sacrifice made for the covering of sin. An animal fell so that they could be dressed, a hint of a savior, a soul to be blessed. Lest they reach for the tree of the life and remain forever in shackles of shadow and pain. God sent them away from the garden of grace to find in the desert a new living space. At the east of the garden, the cherubim stood to guard the way back.